Welcome everyone to the Freddie and Alyssa show.
If you're new to the channel,
subscribe, like, comment, all that fun YouTube stuff. If you're watching on Facebook and you want to like the page, that'd be amazing. If you're listening on a platform like iTunes, hello out there. If you want to leave us a 5-star review because you think we deserve it, that would be incredible. We've been putting up content now for many years, about to hit our 5-year anniversary of the Freddie and Alyssa show in just 2 months, and we appreciate you for stopping by. I don't know where that came from. It was in the DNA. It was in the genes.
Nailed it.
It's how you just work it in.
Nailed it, baby.
Thank you.
How long has it been since you've done that? You've got a little bit of water here.
I just got out of the shower.
Shower.
Now that I'm working with a physical brokerage and I have trainings and meetings and happy hours and showings and clients and all of this stuff. Well, with clients, I always dressed up nice. But now I have to have myself together, so I can't wear my t-shirt and shorts anymore. I'm building up the wardrobe, but I really like my blue polos.
You look so handsome. He's got some khakis on the bottom. I love this vibe. I love this look. It's giving professional, winning at life, realtor
energy.
Fred.
I need to get I'm going to go get myself a whole new wardrobe just because part of me working with this brokerage is that I'm going to go into the Reunion hotel, which is called the Grand, and I can sit at this desk and I can generate myself leads, and I want to have many different outfits for that, at least 5. I'm not going to go crazy, but I'll just wear the same 5 just Monday through, I don't know how many days a week I'll go.
And also, too, for anyone who doesn't know, so Reunion is a very big, I guess, vacation community, big for long-term rentals, investment properties. And so I would say, 5,000 visitors per week come in and out of Reunion?
Per week per month?
Or per month.
But if you think about, maybe.
But either or, say it's 5,000 per month. Let's just even say that number. That's 5,000 individuals who are coming in, new traffic, who are falling in love with this community, going, oh my goodness, I want a vacation home here. And they have everything from condos, townhomes, to, a regular modest house, to mansions, mega mansions, estates, all that fun stuff. So they have like a little bit of everything. And I think that's why it's just so well-rounded. And so many people love it.
Got something for everyone.
100%.
And even if you want to visit, it's such a cool place. Like if you want to be on the Disney property and you're going to stay at like a hotel, I understand the appeal for that. But also if you're going with family and you want more space, there's many Airbnbs around the area, like an insane, even in Disney in general.
Oh,
I'm just saying it's unbelievable the amount of Airbnbs. But in Reunion, it's 15 minutes from Disney. You've got golf. There's so many other amenities depending on which property you stay at. So, yeah, even if you're coming to Disney next time and you're not even looking to buy, but just looking to Airbnb, Google Reunion.
Reunion's what's that?
And they have a hotel that you can do the traditional hotel stay, but there's also condos, townhomes, like she was saying, villas, big houses. That if you have like 6 family members coming, you all split.
And they have a water park. They have a golf courses, mini golf, restaurants, and it's in a really central area. Now they've built it up so much. There's so many yummy, delicious restaurants outside of the gates of Reunion as well.
Yeah.
So we enjoy it.
The Americas. It's very American.
Very American.
Like they do have some restaurants inside, and then you're like 15 minutes to, if you want to be fancy, they've got the Mortons, the Ruth Chris, they got the Ocean Prime. That's about 15 minutes. But outside, you've got the Olive Garden, you've got Longhorn, you've got a Ford's Garage being built, Miller's, Chili's.
Hey.
So you've got your McDonald's, Chili's. Wendy's, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's
all
really close.
Today you're going for training and work, is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love to see it. Well,
I just want to learn more.
Yeah.
As soon as someone shows me what to do on anything, I'm like, just show me what needs to be done, and I will do it nonstop. So I'm just trying to find some new ways. Like I'm curious when they do call training, what they mean. Well, is it like calling expired listings? Is
that what you're doing today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Or it's specific. Maybe it's specific to the areas that they farmed. Right. So maybe it's not cold calling, because I remember them saying they don't do much of that.
Well, it's interesting, too, because basically when you put a listing up on the MLS, it's what they call active. Now, you'll generally have a contract with your realtor. Say you go, okay, I want to be with you for 6 months. Say that's what I'll sell your house in 6 months. If 6 months passes, then it cancels itself or it'll expire. So people cancel. Sometimes sellers will like change their mind and go after 1 month. No, you know what? I want to withdraw this. Things can happen all the time. So depending what happens with the listing, other agents will see, ooh, this just expired. I want to call the seller, see what happened, and see maybe if the listing is something that I could help market and sell. So other realtors will call and they'll track and see all of the different properties out there. So that's what you kind of mean by the different not cold calling, but the calling aspects, because you would say different things depending what happened with the listing, you would have a different, approach with each one.
Yeah.
So I always love hearing and absorbing different information about that, because I've done a few of those types of calls in the past. Some went really well, but again, with any sort of call, when people don't know who you are on the other end, you don't know what you're going to get. So you just have to, if it's cold calling, if it's a warm lead, you just have to always do it with a smile, and you have to always ask questions, be nice, listen. People at the end of the day, they love talking about, what happened with their house. They will love to tell you, oh, well, this is why it didn't sell. And they'll go into it like a whole story. So it might be a little different because this is going to be, I would assume, a majority of investors. I don't know.
Depends on where they call.
That's true too. It could be other areas, but it'll be fun. It's always that's what I love about real estate. It's something new every day.
All the time. And I like just having a team, because again, if I was just like, all right, so I'm going to call expired listings, and I sit in our office and I'm just like calling, it's great, but you're also like, it's nice to be with a team of people. And so everybody can give you input, you can work together, you can learn together. So just having that camaraderie has been really nice. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see everybody again, because we went to a happy hour on Friday, and me and Alyssa got to meet everybody. And they were just so kind, and I just love their vision. I think we're very aligned, and just also laid back. For being a bunch of rich people, you never know which kind of rich person you're going to get, and they were all, you would never know. You would never know their success. They're just so humble, but also incredibly intelligent. So when you're sitting there having riveting conversation, you're like, I can see why you do so many in sales, because you're just very personable, you're humble, and you're incredibly intelligent. So I'm just going to be a sponge, be around them as much as possible, and see where I can fit in. And
also, though, I love they did everything in style, because this happy hour we went to was at one of the reunion mansions. It was probably a $5 to $10 million mansion, and it was just stunning. And it's just so nice to honestly, like, for me, dream build and see that and be around it. And you're just like, like, we both looked at each other. We're like, we need this one day.
Well, they just go, well, someone owns it.
Might as well be us.
What? So, I mean, that's how I look at anything. It's like, if someone has like an incredible body, I'm like, well, they did that. So like, what did you do? And then you just follow it. So it's like, who the hell owns this? How do they do it? Or if you're in real estate or investing, and you just got to just follow someone who's already done it, and just be able to, to achieve those kind of things. I think it's like just worth the competitive nature of it, of 100%. Like trying to win, because there's so many people in the game who are trying to continue to succeed, and you have to, be smart, and you have to build your skills, and you have to keep climbing. So that's what I feel like you and I have always done. We find great happiness in progressing and learning new skills, because then it becomes every day is different. And you also get out of your comfort zone. And when you leave a meeting, when you leave a training, when you leave any sort of situation that you were nervous to be in, and you exit it, you feel like a stronger person, because you overcame the fear. You overcame the nerves.
That was me when I filmed. I didn't really get to talk to you guys much about it, but when I filmed the Grant Cardone episode of pitching him this 19-unit beachfront property. I mean, that was, talk about stepping out of your comfort zone. I'm here with this like $1 billion real estate mogul, and I would just told myself, I'm like, girl, you got this. Like, he might have way more experience, but you got this. This is a great deal. Just go and crush it. But it really was one of those experiences that when I finished it, I go, wow, like, you came out better on the other end of this because you put yourself through that. Like, it was wild. It was intense, but it was amazing. And I'm so excited in the future for y'all to see that. But you got to always put yourself in those positions. Like, it's what they always say, don't be the smartest person in the room. You want to fit. I love walking into a room and seeing a lot of successful people and just figuring out, you know, what each person does. And it was that whole John Maxwell thing. Ask every person in a room, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Because then you have all this incredible advice from all these really successful people. So that always excites us. I know we love to learn and, you know, continue to grow in whatever we're doing. So I'm really excited to see where this brings you, this journey. It's going to be fun. I feel like this year we've really been aligning with some awesome opportunities, incredible people. And we always said 2023 is the year of saying yes. Like, we are saying yes to every opportunity because you just don't know where it's going to take you. Where saying yes to one thing, even if you're kind of like, well, I don't know, you might meet that one person who introduces you to an opportunity that changes your life. You don't know.
Yeah. The more you're out there.
You might meet the love of your life because you said yes to something.
Yeah.
You know, and whether it's business, relationships, just happiness in general, you just don't know. Just say yes. Just try it out. Mm-hmm. I love that.
And it is the whole like energy and attracting. It's like the more you say yes, the more you get out there, just the more things that come to you as well. And it really is that simple. It's just getting out there. And I feel like we were just in such a place where, you know, the last, you know, like September through December of last year was just a lot of house stuff. It was a lot of like chill and family time, which has its own part in your life where it's like that's so necessary and so beautiful and so fun. But then when you come home at night, then it's you by yourself going, wow, that was great. But then you're in your own thoughts going, well, I need to build a life where I can have my family here more often. I can do more things with my family. I can provide my family more value in having fun or maybe being able to take them somewhere they've never been. So I'm always motivated, like especially when you're around friends and family, because you want to have that more often.
Of course.
And you want to keep up in the ante and having fun and going to do things. And even if we like go to golf, you're like, oh, I got golf.
Right.
Like how cool that is. Or I dinner's on me. Like little things like that are just so, like I like doing that kind of thing. So it's just nice to be around family, to be inspired. But then when you're sitting with yourself, you're like, all right, we got to grind. We got to move forward because we did very well last year. But I was like, this year we've got to truly 10x it.
I was just gonna say
like
that.
Not double, not even triple. I wouldn't be ungrateful for doubling or tripling.
Same.
But I want a significant life change.
Let's go, baby.
I want more responsibility. I want to meet more people. I want to do more work. Not even really travel. Like I'm interested in traveling a little bit, but just 10xing because we just needed to find it. It took a few years to see where we're going. Now we have a path, and now it's time to just go all in and then raise up. So
grind time, baby.
So you know.
Well, let's do it. I have a very interesting random fact that happened today, and I'm curious if you ever heard of this. So I was at my favorite little Starbucks, and the barista gave me my coffee, and she goes, oh my goodness, I love your nails. I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, there's chrome on them. It's this whole thing. And she goes, you know what's really crazy? When you work at Starbucks, you're not allowed to wear nail polish, period. And I go, really? And she goes, yeah, because we deal with food, drinks, and they're afraid maybe it'll like come off. Yeah. And she goes, I did work in another restaurant in the past, and they didn't care. And she's like, I would think with Starbucks that gel, which is what I have, would be okay because it stays on, like it doesn't chip. But I go, I never thought of that.
Well, you don't want to open up your coffee or your latte and have a nail floating in it.
No, or some.
But you also would understand. It's like how people like every now and then there's a hair. I mean, a fingernail would be disgusting.
That's not good. But why not wear gloves? Is it harder, less efficient?
Hey, I get it.
Every business has their protocol.
You know why? There was issues, and they go, let's end this. I don't want to solve this problem anymore. Let's just cut it out, and that's one of the requirements of working here. But I think you get like free college.
I was going to say
trade-off.
Starbucks gives
no nail polish, but free college.
You're like, okay, I'll do it. Well, I read a very interesting article. I'm curious if you've heard anything about it. There is this tech guy who sold his company, I think it's like for $800 million. And he now is spending $2 million every year on his health to stay youthful.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Not really. I've heard people like this.
Okay, so tech entrepreneur spends $2 million a year to regain his youth. Blah 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 blah. Coming.
What's the main things he's doing?
Okay, so the super rich software developer reportedly has a team of 30 doctors monitoring his bodily functions and coming up with ways of reversing the aging process in every one of his organs. Both Johnson and his team are obsessed with the scientific literature on aging and longevity and are always eager to try the most promising treatments, closely analyzing the results they have on the tech entrepreneur's body. Johnson started his journey to reverse aging a few years back, has already invested millions in both human talent and advanced equipment to reach his ultimate goal of having the body of an 18-year-old man. The body delivers a certain configuration at age 18. True. This really is an impassioned approach to achieve age 18 everywhere. He's aware some people may consider his obsession with this goal crazy. It's expected and fine. They're calling it Project Blueprint, and it includes strict diet guidelines, exercise, sleep at the same time every night, and only after 2 hours wearing glasses that block blue light. As well as various extreme and sometimes painful medical procedures to monitor and measure his progress. Advanced blood tests, MRIs, ultrasounds, and even colonoscopies are all on the menu for the entrepreneur on a monthly basis. I treat athletes and Hollywood celebrities, and no one is pushing the envelope as much as Brian, Jeff Toll, an internist on Johnson's team, said. But all this work, pain, and expenses have paid off, as the scientists on his team say that the tech mogul is indeed getting younger. Now, this is the crazy part. Looking at Brian Johnson, it's clear that he looks much younger than the average 45-year-old. But the doctors on his team claim that their data also shows a drastic improvement inside his body. He apparently has the heart of a healthy 37-year-old, the skin of a 28-year-old, and the lung capacity and fitness of an 18-year-old. He also only has 5 to 6% body fat, which is quite remarkable for his age.
How old is he again?
45. I don't know if y'all can see this pic.
What was his name? They can Google.
Brian Johnson.
Let me see him again.
His skin looks soft.
I mean, he really does look young.
I know. He's 45.
Well, there's that Dr. Sinclair. What's his name? I know his last name is Sinclair.
Is that the 13-year study that they did?
Sinclair. Yeah, where they're starting to find,
like with the mice and stuff.
Yeah, ways to. So like aging, I think he called it. Aging is a disease that we all have, and he's been focusing his whole life on curing that disease. So that we don't age. But then the whole question becomes, well, if you don't age and you can live forever, that's going to change again our entire mindset of like everything we have in life, from work to travel to like what would we do? Like we're going to end up building the craziest things but then someone like Elon Musk was saying he doesn't want to solve the problem because he goes, a lot of people hit a certain age and they never change their ideas. And in order for the civilization to continue to evolve, you need people to die out with old ideas to make room for people with new ideas. And you kind of see that in our government a little bit, where everyone's just so damn old. And it's like, I'm sure you're out of touch.
Yeah.
Like the whole entire, like imagine getting a bunch of 30, 40, 50-year-olds all in office, just how different. Even big companies do that. They're excited when 30, 40-year-olds join a company if there's like a bunch of 60s and 70-year-olds, because they're like, we need to learn about the new cultures.
Just innovation of the new group of the consumers that you're going to be dealing with.
And the world and the world's problems. Like there's a lot there. But yeah, if you could live forever, that would be interesting. But then you'd also, the value of a life would become so significantly different. Because if you even think about, and this is, I don't mean to sound morbid, but like somebody who's 97 who passes away, it's sad, but it's way more sad when you hear about a 6-year-old.
Because the 97-year-old got to experience life and live a full
and
life.
we're all really like, wow, 97, like you made it really, but if you can live forever, then life is going to become incredibly valuable, because it's like even more valuable, because the only way you would actually die would be through like an accident or a violent crime.
Well, that part too. Okay, so bear with me on this crazy thought, but your girl loves a good conspiracy. And listen, at the end of the day, I love exploring everything. I love seeing what the just ideas could be out there. And they've said that a long, 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 long time ago that there could have been quote unquote giants, because when you look at the 7 wonders of the world, everyone's like, how did they have the technology to build this back then? And it always makes me wonder, if a theory like that is correct, did they live a really long life and then that entire civilization was wiped out from whatever happened and then we all had to start over? Like, I always think if an asteroid hit tomorrow and we're all wiped out, everything that we keep, our prized possessions on our cell phones, our bank accounts, our pictures, everything, it's all gone. If someone comes here in 500 years, no one's going to know what this is. All the real pictures that we don't even have in our house anymore because we've never been. Like, what's left to remember us? What kind of artifacts are there? And I just always think of those types of things. How are we to know that back then, like, what were they doing? What was their technology? I think they were further advanced than we believe. Just my idea.
And it's just that there's just so much that we don't know because we're not capable of knowing.
Yeah.
Because we've always used the analogy that like our pets live in a world where the internet exists, and they'll live in this world, they'll continue to live in this world, and they will never have the mental capacity to understand the internet. Us as humans don't understand how it works, but we understand what it is.
Yeah.
And they'll never understand that. And then I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say this on a clip too, where he goes, "You can't teach trigonometry to a chimpanzee." But us and the chimpanzee, our DNA is so close, yet we are so significantly smarter that you could never teach them trigonometry. He's like, so what's to say that we're not the chimpanzees to the next group, that their children are born knowing trigonometry, like, and we just can't, like, the dog doesn't know Wi-Fi's here. Like, I think there's just higher and higher intelligence and power that we just don't know exist, and this is just all we know. Just like Benji just knows what he knows. He knows food, water, protect, mommy, daddy, strangers. Oh, I like them, food.
But that's why I have to believe there's so much more than we could even fathom about life after death.
Yeah.
There's just no way that, like, there is a reason that after all these years none of us know. There's a reason for that. Like, we're not supposed to, just like the dog's not supposed to know about the internet. It's not.
Or can't know.
It's just not that they're supposed to, but there's just a reason. And I don't know. Don't get me started on this topic because I'll go all day long. But I just love exploring every avenue of ideas, because at the end of the day, no one really does know. We can have our best choice, but there's really no proven.
I think it's amazing we know what we know.
That's
like, how
true.
the hell do we estimate that the universe is like 5 billion years old? Like, how do we, I mean, dinosaurs were here like 100 million years ago or something crazy like that.
Insanity. And we don't
and
even know much
it's like, the fossils
that.
And like they know, but I'm like, well, how do you, like, I wouldn't know. Like, if I was the only person left, I even saw this comedian say that. He goes, if I could time travel back to 1920, he goes, I don't really know how I would help. Like, people would say, like, you're from the 2023, like, what's the, he goes, there's like a phone that's in your pocket, and it's like, well, how does it work? I mean, I don't know. I just know that you talk on it, or like there's like a satellite, but I don't know what that is. Like, we don't really know.
Much.
And if we saw like bones, I would go, how would I know that dinosaur is 100 million years? Like, how did you take all the bones, and how did someone know
this one
over
is that old? Yep.
But so my whole point is, like, I'm still just astonished that we even know what we know, but yet there's just so much more.
There is. Have you ever heard that the lottery? This is really out there, guys. That the lottery was invented so they could capture time travelers.
That should be a movie.
I mean, shouldn't it?
Yes.
Isn't that such a funny, interesting thing? But hey.
Well, that should be the movie where they actually invent, whenever the lottery was initially invented, should be when the movie takes place, and they found out about time travelers, or a time traveler, and they invented the lottery so that they could catch them, but then the lottery was just like making the government money and people happy, and they were like, let's just keep it. And it like pans out in this small town, and it's like,
hey,
it has to be a comedy.
Great script. I just rewatched The Time Traveler's Wife. I'm always so fascinated in those types of storylines. But can you tell I love fantasy? I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Well, we have access to just so much information at this point. And you know what's interesting with us though is like, I'm just curious, but I don't have any like definite stuff.
100%.
Like I just like hearing people's theories, and just like whether it's right or wrong, I'm just interested in letting it all like swish around and just think about it. And I'm interested that when something becomes a fact, like the day they actually figure out how the pyramids were built, then it's like, now we know.
Tell me, I go, okay.
But until then, it's like, let's look at all the theories and figure that out.
That's why too, I freaking love astrology. There's so many things about it that I'm just always like, holy cow, this is so on point. But the main thing is that if the moon can affect the tides, then you mean to tell me that these huge, huge planets aren't going to impact my tiny little body? Well, there's got to be something there.
Well, we're affected even by the weather.
Yeah.
Like you feel
the full moons.
You feel different when it's cold, when it's windy. You feel different when it's cloudy.
Yep.
You feel different when it's raining. Sometimes it's like you're like, and then sometimes it's beautiful, depending on what's going on. But your mood's affected. When the sun is out and there's blue skies, you're naturally more happy. So
yeah,
there's
something there.
Yeah.
Well, so on this sunny day, I think I'm gonna get a nice little run in. You're gonna do your training.
Yeah. And then come home and cook some dinner. And just continue to get after it. It's February 1st.
Happy February 1st, y'all.
Yeah, happy February 1st. Dry January's over, but I'm still doing it because I have a lot going on in life. But there's also a lot to celebrate.
I fell off the wagon on that one.
Yeah,
I had a damp January.
You did, but
I had a lot of family in town. It was fun.
But we'll see. We're gonna there'll be a time and a place. But I'm just really trying to hit my fitness goal. Mm-hmm. I got like 10 more pounds I want to lose, and so having a drink or a cheat meal is only going to slow that down. So,
but you looked really great in that wedding styled shoot we did. We got the video back. Check it out on our Instagrams.
That turned out. I'm so glad that I lost like 10, and I want to lose like 10 more so that I can be back to like where I need to be. But at least I didn't go crazy last year. I gained probably 20. I lost 10 of it, so I got 10 left. But I'm gonna keep it going. Yeah, just putting it all together. But yeah, thank you so much for being here with us. We will be back next Wednesday, and we're just wishing you a phenomenal week. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.